Same budget, three wildly different lives. Today, I'm showing you exactly what 500,000, 750,000, and 1 million buy in the Sacramento area right now. Real cities, real neighborhoods, real numbers. And here's the short version up front, because you deserve a direct answer in the first 15 seconds. 500,000 buys a solid Sacramento County starter home, or an entry point into Placer County if you know where to look. 750,000 buys a turnkey family home in Rocklin, or a newer build in West Roseville. And 1 million, that's Granite Bay's entry point, or an El Dorado Hills home with a real view. But the sticker price is only half the story. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how two homes with the exact same price tag can end up $300 a month apart, and how most buyers never see it coming until after they've signed. Stick around for that one, because it changes how you shop. If you clicked because you want to know what your money buys here in 2026, that is exactly what this video is. Tier by tier, top to bottom. I'm Kat Farless, and my husband Rich and I have been helping people make this exact decision for a long time. Buyers from San Jose, San Francisco, the Peninsula, Southern California, and honestly, all over the country. Plus, plenty of locals moving up or sizing down right here in the Sacramento area. Quick promise before we start. Every number in this video comes from what actually is closing right now. Not asking prices, not wishful thinking. So when I say what your money buys, it's what your money buys. We'll take this in 4 stops. 2 minutes of ground rules. Then the 3 tiers, 500,000, 750,000, and 1 million. City by city, including a couple of places most relocation videos never mention. And we finish with the monthly payment showdown, which is the part I most want you to see before you tour a single home. Ready? First stop. First, interest rates. As of this filming, Freddie Mac has the average 30-year fixed at 6.49%. Call it the mid-sixes. That number matters more than any home price in this video because it drives your monthly payment, and I'll come back to it at the end. Second, when I say something like the median in Rocklin is about 705, remember what a median is. Half the homes sold above that number and half the homes sold below it. It's a compass, not a price tag. The data shows the median in the city of Sacramento sitting right around 500,000. Roseville runs in the 620s to the 650s, depending on how you slice it. Rocklin is around 705, and it's up roughly about 8% year over year, which tells you Placer County demand is very much alive. El Dorado Hills runs about 875 and up, and Granite Bay has been trading in the 7 figures. Third, and this is good news if you're buying, inventory across the region is up 15 to 20% compared to last year. In the city of Sacramento, we're at roughly 2.4 months of supply. Homes are sitting a little longer, about 18 days in Sacramento, and anywhere from about 15 to 30 plus days in Roseville, depending on the price point and the source. But here's the qualifier I always give because it matters. Well-priced homes with upgrades, a pool, or a view still go in the first week. The negotiating room is real, it's just not evenly distributed. And fourth, the sticker price is not your cost. Your cost is the total monthly. Principal, interest, property taxes, insurance, and in some neighborhoods, Mello-Roos and special assessments on top. Keep the phrase total monthly in your head for the next 20 minutes because it's going to flip at least one of these tiers on its head. All right, tier 1. What does $500,000 buy in Sacramento area in 2026? More than you'd think in some places. Less than you'd hope in others. Let's go find out. Start where the median lives. The city of Sacramento in Sacramento County. At $500,000, you're buying a real house, typically 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,600 square feet, often built between the 1950s and the 1980s. Established neighborhoods, mature trees, actual yards. In a lot of these areas, you're 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Sacramento, and if you're commuting to the Bay Area a few days a week, you're shopping the Interstate 80 or Highway 50 corridors on purpose. The trade-offs at this tier are age and finishes. Expect original bathrooms, an older HVAC system, maybe a roof conversation in your inspection report. That's not a reason to walk away. It's a reason to budget. And here's something that changed. In this market, you can actually negotiate repair credits again. 3 years ago, that was a fantasy. Today, it's a Tuesday. Now, can you get into Placer County at $500,000? Yes, with caveats. In Roseville, entry-level homes in the older established neighborhoods, think Central and East Roseville, still show up in the 450s to the low 500s. Smaller footprints, 1970 and 80s builds, but you're inside the Roseville school system and you're on Roseville Electric. And later in this video, I'll show you why that utility detail is worth real money every single month. Condos and townhomes near the Galleria live in this tier too. And then there's Lincoln, the value play of Placer County right now. New construction base prices on smaller lot plans can start in the 500s. Brand new everything, builder warranties, energy efficient systems, and builders are motivated to make deals in this market. Rate buy downs, closing credits, design center money. The trade-offs? You're further up Highway 65, so be honest with yourself about the commute. And many of the newer communities carry Mello-Roos and special assessments, which land right on top of that total monthly. Always ask for the full tax rate on the specific lot, not the neighborhood average, the lot. Rough payment reality for Tier 1. At today's mid-6% rates with 10% down, a $500,000 purchase runs somewhere in the mid-3,000s a month, all in. Give or take depending on your exact rate, your taxes, and your insurance quote. Hold that number. We're stacking it against the other tiers at the end. Quick favor before Tier 2. If this is useful, hit subscribe. We put out a new Sacramento area video every week. And drop a comment telling me which tier you're shopping and which city you're most curious about. We read every single comment, and your questions decide what we film next. This video exists because of what you asked under the last one. Tier 2, $750,000. This is the sweet spot tier, and it's where the choices get interesting. Because at $750,000, you're not asking, can I buy a house here? You're asking, which life do I want? You've got 4 very different answers. Option 1, Rocklin. The medium here is about $705. So at $750, you're shopping above the middle of the market. That buys a turnkey 4-bedroom, usually 2,000 to 2,400 square feet. Established communities like Stanford Ranch with mature streets and bigger lots, or the entry point of Whitney Ranch, the newer master plan community everybody asks about. Rocklin Schools and its Parks and Trails network are major draws, and the data shows Rocklin still leaning towards sellers, up roughly 8% year over year. So come in with a sharp offer strategy here. Option 2. West Roseville, new construction country, Fitterman Farm, West Park, and the newer villages. At $750, you're getting more house than Rocklin on paper. New builds, open floor plans, 3-car garages on some plans, walkable parks, brand new schools. Here's the asterisk, and it's a big one. Most of West Roseville carries Mello-Roos and special assessments, and depending on the street, that can add roughly $200 to $400 a month on top of the base property tax. Same sticker as Rocklin, different total monthly. Remember that phrase. It's about to become the whole ballgame. Option 3, Folsom, east side of the region, Sacramento County. Strong schools and the whole Folsom Lake lifestyle. Trails, water, that historic downtown. Folsom is also SMUD electric territory, which typically runs cheaper than PG&E. At $750, you're buying a solid, established family home, though the newest Folsom Ranch areas carry Mello-Roos and special assessments of their own, so the same street-by-street homework applies there too. And option 4, Lincoln again, except now, instead of the entry-level plan, $750 buys the bigger new build, more square footage, a bigger lot, and on the right street, a view toward the Sierra foothills. So which one wins? Honestly, this is the tier where we spend the most hours with clients because the answer isn't on the listing. It's in the commute, the schools, and the total monthly. Which brings me to a quick pause because I want to hand you something. If we haven't properly met, I'm Kat Farless, and together with my husband Rich, we lead a real estate team here in the Sacramento area. We work with buyers and sellers across Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties every single day. And a big part of our business is families relocating from the Bay Area and beyond. We also maintain a network of trusted agents in other markets. More on that at the end, because if you have a home to sell somewhere else, it matters. Now, everything I'm covering today, and honestly a lot more, lives in one free resource we built called the NorCal Reel. It breaks down all 8 cities we work in: Roseville, Rocklin, Folsom, El Dorado Hills, Granite Bay, Auburn, Loomis, and Lincoln. Neighborhoods, dining, parks and trails, new construction, all of it. It also has a run the numbers tool, so you can take any price in this video and test it against your own budget. If you want it, it's simple. Drop the word guide in the comments and we'll send you the NorCal Reel. No forms, no spam, just the resource. Okay, tier 3, the $1 million question. Literally, tier 3, 1 million. And I want to set expectations honestly, because 1 million in this region is not what the internet thinks it is. It's both more and less. Let me show you what I mean. Start with El Dorado Hills, because this is where 1 million stretches furthest. The median in El Dorado Hills is around $875. So at 1 million, you're shopping above the median. And that's exactly where the view conversation starts. In the right villages, 1 million buys a newer build with a real Folsom Lake or Valley view, typically 2,800 to 3,500 square feet, a 3-car garage on a lot that would cost double or more in the Bay Area. 2 things to check in El Dorado Hills before you fall in love. First, the newer communities, Serrano, Blackstone, and others commonly carry Mello-Roos and special assessments, and those vary community to community. Second, insurance. Part of El Dorado Hills sits in higher wildfire risk zones, and premiums can vary dramatically from one house to the next. So get insurance quotes during the inspection period, not the week before closing. I'll say that again later because it's that important. Then there's Granite Bay. The data shows Granite Bay trading well into the 7 figures, and recent months have trended strongly upward, though it's a smaller market, so month-to-month numbers swing. What does that mean at exactly 1 million? You're at the entry point. That might be an older home on a larger lot, sometimes a ½ acre or more, which is the whole point of Granite Bay, or an updated home on a standard lot in one of the established neighborhoods. The trade versus El Dorado Hills is usually acreage and Folsom Lake access on one side, newer construction and hilltop views on the other. And here's a quiet advantage. Because Granite Bay is an established community, it's largely free of Mello-Roos and special assessments, which improves that total monthly without changing the sticker at all. And a dark horse at this tier, Loomis, and the foothill towns. At $1 million, you can find real acreage, horse property, room for a shop, a small town downtown with an actual character, 10 minutes from the Galleria. Almost nobody relocating from the Bay Area knows this exists. Rich and I live this lifestyle ourselves. So if you want a whole video on Loomis, tell me in the comments. Now, what $1 million does not buy: the custom estate with the gated driveway and the infinity pool. In Granite Bay and in El Dorado Hills, that home starts around 1.5 and runs well past 2 million. If that's your search, reach out directly. That inventory often moves quietly before it ever hits a portal. And one more frame, especially for our Bay Area viewers. $1 million here is roughly the price of a dated townhome in much of the peninsula. Here, it's a view home or a half-acre lot. That's the entire relocation math in one sentence. Okay, the part I promised you at the start, the monthly payment showdown. This is where the sticker price lies to you, and I'm going to prove it with two identical price tags. Picture two buyers. Both buy at exactly $750. Both put 10% down at today's mid 6% rates. Their principal and interest is identical, roughly $4,300 a month. From here, their paths split. Buyer 1 takes the new build in West Roseville. Base property tax in Placer County runs an effective rate of roughly 1.1%. Call it about $690 a month. Then, Mello-Roos and special assessments on their particular street add, let's say, $300 a month. Insurance, call it $150. Their total monthly lands right around $5,400. Buyer 2 takes the established home in East Roseville or Rocklin. No Mello-Roos, no special assessments. Same base tax, similar insurance. Their total monthly comes in around $5,100. That's a $300 a month gap, $3,600 a year, and over $100,000 across the life of a 30-year loan on two homes with the exact same price tag. And before you write off the new build, it can swing back the other way. Buyer 1 in West Roseville is on Roseville Electric, which runs meaningfully cheaper than PG&E territory in Rocklin or El Dorado Hills. Households on Roseville Electric average somewhere around $150 a month, while comparable PG&E bills often run well above that, especially in summer when the AC works all day. So the utility bill quietly claws back part of that Mello-Roos and special assessments gap. And the new build is more energy efficient on top of it. This is exactly why we tell every client, never compare stickers, compare total monthlies. So here are the ballparks across all three tiers at today's rates. And please hear the word roughly, because your rate, your parcel's tax rate, and your insurance quote will move every one of these. $500,000 with 10% down, roughly $3,400 to $3,700 a month, all in. $750 with 10% down is roughly $5,100 to $5,600, and $1 million with 20% down is roughly $6,400 to $7,000, with insurance as a wild card at this tier, especially in the foothills. 3 rules to take with you. Rule 1, get the full tax rate for the specific parcel. Mello-Roos and special assessments vary street by street, and we pull that for clients before anyone writes an offer. Rule 2, get insurance quotes during your inspection period, not at the finish line. And Rule 3, run the total monthly on every home you're serious about. And that is exactly what the Run the Numbers tool inside the NorCal reel is built for. So let's call it back. $500,000, a Sacramento County starter, an established East Roseville home, or an entry new build in Lincoln. $750,000, a turnkey Rocklin family home, a newer West Roseville build, or Folsom. Chosen on total monthly, never on sticker. And $1 million, El Dorado Hills views, Granite Bay's entry point, or acreage in Loomis, with insurance quotes in hand early. Now, where you go from here depends where you are. If you're still in research mode, if the next question in your head is, okay, but which of these cities is right for my family? That's exactly what the NorCal Reel was built to answer. Drop guide in the comments and we'll send it over. And if you're further along, you're pre-approved or ready to get pre-approved, or you already know your tier and you want to see actual homes, reach out directly. Our contact information is in the description, and you can book a free call with us. No pressure. We want to help you get this right. One more thing. If part of this move involves selling a home somewhere else in the Bay Area, Southern California, out of state, Rich and I maintain a vetted referral network of agents in those markets, and we can make sure you have the right person working for you on both ends of this move. And if you're a local heading the other direction, we can connect you with someone great wherever you're going to. If this video was useful, subscribe, share it with whoever else is in this decision with you, and drop us a comment. We really do read them all. And if you're now wondering how these prices translate into everyday life, groceries, utilities, insurance, all of it, we already did that math line by line. The next video is linked right now in the corner. Cost of living in Sacramento, the full 2026 breakdown versus the Bay Area. Go check it out next. I'm Kat Farless. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.